Hey friends, Paul here. We'll get started in a few minutes. Hey friends, Paul here. We'll get started in a few minutes. Just getting things set up here, and we'll start in about a minute. Just getting things set up here, and we'll start in about a minute. If you've already jumped onto the live stream, please drop your name in the chat. I'd love to know who's in the chat tonight. If you've already jumped onto the live stream, please drop your name in the chat. I'd love to know who's in the chat tonight. Good evening, friends out there. Great to see you. Thank you so much for joining tonight's live stream. I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I got some feedback from our session on Tuesday, and a lot of folks were asking for more drawing tutorials and that type of thing. So I thought we'd try this out tonight. I'm gonna call this. I had my picture of my happy face mug here, and I don't know if you could see that or not. On the back of it, it says "Keep a smile on your mug." So I figured we would start doing sort of a like happy hour type of time where we're sitting there enjoying each other's company and get going and start doing some sketching together, and especially sketching for storyboarding. A lot of you good friends out there just were asking during the chat back on Tuesday, hey, listen, Paul, we would like to learn more about just drawing styles. How do I, put down the least amount of lines? How do I make a compelling storyboard frame or shot? How do we simplify this? Sort of how do you do it? And I'm going to share that process with you tonight. So I created this new live stream. We're going to call it Sketching After Hours. So here's to you good folks out there. I got my hot coffee ready to go and ready to go to have some time with you guys and have some fun tonight. Okay. So the way I sort of have the live stream set up for tonight is just going to have a good time. We're going to do some drawings. I have a couple sketches. I was pre-sketching earlier, and I have a couple sketches going on for you good folks. If you're currently joining on the live stream right now, I'd love to see who's on board and who's on deck. So if you got a chance, just drop, or if you're coming on late into the stream, just drop a line on there. Let me know that you're there. It makes uh, it makes me feel good too to let me know that there's people listening on the chat, and that you wanted to have some fun sketching together. Um, Again, if we haven't met before, my name is Paul Angeli. I'm a live action storyboard artist, and we have created this YouTube channel focusing on storyboarding, and I'm having a great time with this. And I think this is our 14th live stream today. Everybody's been participating and helping and taking part in this new budding YouTube channel. And I really appreciate everybody taking the time to sort of hang out with me on our live sessions. I have a lot of things planned for this month that that we started with our first month last month, in the month of October. In the month of October, we were able to do 13 different live streams. And I'm sort of getting to a point where we're going to start shaping this material in a few different ways as we go in, training and sort of talking about storyboarding, the art of storyboarding, and trying to give you as much value as I can out there for you budding artists and storyboard creators and visual storytellers. Storytelling and storyboarding is a fun, um, for me, a fun visual language. I love it because it's the first time, if you're working with a client or a director, you're able to sit down and put the first visuals or the first iteration of what a future film or feature animation or a cartoon or a music video, a video game, cutscene. These are the first times that you actually get to turn this into a visual medium and get to see it as it plays. If you've checked out some of my other little small animatics, I'm trying to take the time to make animatics from. So you have a little quick movie of some of our live streams from our jam sessions. So as we go forward, I'm sort of playing around with the idea. Let me know in the chat if it's working for you or not. I sort of have it. I sort of have the thinking going. What we'll do is have 3 different types of live streams, and as we go forward, we'll see how that works. It works out this week and in the next couple of weeks. We'll try it out for a few weeks, see how it does. So I'm thinking, because right now we've been sort of getting together on Tuesdays, on Thursdays, and on Saturday evenings. If the time is working for you, please let me know that the time is working for you. I know a lot of you good folks and friends out there watching this on the replay, and that is awesome. And I just see everybody watching here on my YouTube studios. That's always great for me to see that you guys are getting a lot of value out of this content. I got quite a few of you dropping your I don't know if I want to call it homework assignments or just your sketches and sharing sharing those sketches with me. I've had all sorts of folks sharing. I know Ronnie and Barat and Gabby all have been sharing their visuals with me of what they're learning from the different live streams. But anyways, so we got Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday that we've been getting together for a while now, for a little bit over a month. So on Tuesdays, I'm thinking that what we'll do is we'll focus on the true craft of storyboarding, okay? And we can mix it up with different styles. A few of you said, hey, Paul, I'd like to do more animation style or feature animation. I've worked in a lot of different aspects of storyboarding, so that would be a cool thing to, go and we'll look at those different areas. Besides, my main focus is live action, but we could focus in all those different areas, and that'd be sort of fun. So Tuesdays, I'm sort of thinking more we're going to be on the mastering of the basics of storyboarding. Maybe we'll get into software. We'll do some different things to mix it up and create some great value for you guys. And then on Thursdays, I was thinking it's sort of like a after hours party type of thing, where we're a lot of you guys were talking about sketching and building your pencil mileage. We're going to talk a little bit about that today before we get drawing. And so tonight would be sort of the Thursday night sort of hangout, happy hour, grab your favorite beverage. I got my hot coffee going on right now and my sparkly water, and we can sort of hang out as we're drawing together and just get that pencil mileage in, and have fun with that. And then on Saturdays, I'm thinking, well, I love the jam sessions where we're picking a topic. I know the last, I would say, we've done so many different topics on that one. We did the last one we did was on the demonic doll. We did this tale of Sleepy Hollow and the Headless Horseman. We did another one on vampires. And I think the one before that, the very first jam session we did it on these explorers going through a temple system. So we're going to sort of continue that. So it mixes it up and makes it fun for me as I'm presenting these different materials for you good folks out there. And it gives you something new to chew on for every one of these sessions, So again, if we haven't met before, my name is Paul Angeli, and I'm a live action storyboard artist, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to come and hang out with me on YouTube, and sort of I hope you're able to enhance your skills, or just get some time. And whether you're a pro out there and just want to draw with me, and or you're a budding, this is a field you love to get into, and how do I take my comic book art and go into storyboarding? How do I take my children's book illustration? How do I get into these different things? And so I really appreciate everybody hanging out with me tonight. If you're catching this on the replay, thanks for joining, and I hope this is bringing you immense value. So, I was going to kick off on a little quote today, and I've gotten the opportunity in the past to meet so many different artists out there in all different walks of life, and whether it be story artists, directors, musicians, all different, video game designers, comic book artists. Oh, I've met so many different people, and for me, it's like you sort of cue into other folks, and you sort of have a nice you jive well together. You have a similar vibe, and you get going. And one person I'm going to shout out to kick off today is a person I got to meet. I used to go down to Los Angeles. I was from originally from Northern California, and anytime I was doing business down in Los Angeles, I'd go to Steven Silver's Drawing Academy and hang out. And Steven would go and have a live model there. You pay a small fee, and you just go hang out. And I'm always very impressed with Steven's work. He's a character designer. He designed, I guess, the original characters for the Jay and Silent Bob for Mallrats on their animated series. He created all the original character designs for Kim Possible for Disney, and he gave me a lot of his time, and I really appreciated him taking the time as I was starting to get into this industry and get going. And he has a lot of great sayings. I guess he does a daily saying every day. You can catch him on YouTube, so check out his YouTube channel. But Stephen today said, make time. I guess his quote for today was, make time every day to create. If you don't, you'll seal your fate. And I think that hit me a little bit today, and I think that was a great sort of his topic for today. You got, storyboarding or art in general, no matter what your profession is, whether if you're a singer, an actor, or a director, or artist, storyboard artist, or whatever you might be in this industry, you got to keep practicing, and I've been talking to you good folks in quite a few of our live sessions. Have that sketchbook, have those drawings going every day. You put time into this. This is your tool chest. Just like a mechanic needs to know how to all the tools and computerized systems and how to repair a car or build a car. You as the story artist or storyboard artist need to be able to hone your tools each and every day, and this is where you draw each and every day. And you got to put the time into this to make it work, because when an employer is paying you to whether it be the studio, or you're working on a project or a film or whatever, you have to put I call it the pencil mileage, right? Even though you might be drawing with a pen or a stylus or a crayon or whatever you got to put the pencil mileage in. You got to put in the hours each and every day honing your craft, because when you get that call to go up to the big leagues and go pro, they want you to be able to sit down and just knock this stuff out. There's no thinking anymore. There's a lot of thinking when you're trying to visualize what the script writer is writing to you, but you got to just jump in, and if you don't know how to draw a figure, you don't know perspective, you don't know those things, you're going to be left behind, because there's a lot of people out there putting a lot of time into this craft and drawing every day and doing. I've seen some great animatics from a lot of folks on Instagram and other places, just absolutely phenomenal. You put in all that work into it. You want to output work. I sort of use my YouTube channel as a place where I'm required to draw every time. I made a commitment that I'm out here live streaming with you good folks, and I'm here. It gets me focused on getting my artwork done, and just putting in those studies. I've talked to a couple pros out there, and we were talking on Instagram through DMs, and you got to put in the work. You got to put in a lot of thinking time, and folks don't get to see all that in the final film, or even in the art of books. You don't get to see all that work and all that thinking of what you're doing. And if you want to improve as an artist, you got to go study. You got to learn your fundamentals. You got to go and practice. So that's what we're sort of playing around with today. I sort of have my Photoshop opened up for you, and just some sketches I was doing before we got together today, just to show, just stuff I was practicing around with, maybe a little bit more complicated, maybe a more final board, working on, costuming and different stuff. And it's not taking me very long. These are just, simple sketches that I'm putting together to put some practice in and put some pencil mileage into the system. But again, we were talking about Steven Silver's quote, every day create. If you don't, you'll seal your fate. You got to put the time into this. You got to put the time into. If you want to be an artist out there, you need to put the time into it, and put those reps in. It's like working out every day or watching your diet. You gotta do this every single day. You got to put the reps in. You got to put the hard work in. I don't care if it's Monday through Friday. Hey, I'm off on the weekend. I'm gonna take a day off. No, there's no day off. You just keep striving. If this is what your goal is, and you're after this, you gotta fight the good fight. You got to put in the work. It takes work to get these things done, because you want to be able to go, and when you get tapped on a project, and you're fortunate enough to work with a director or a client, or work for a studio, that you got to be able to produce. You got to be able to produce value in terms of your storytelling abilities and your art and what you're doing there. So anyway, that's enough of the chitter chatter there. But today we're going to talk about storyboarding and if you're getting into this for the first time, and like sort of I'm going to share with you sort of my breakdowns, my sort of cheats or cheat codes to help you win. If you're getting into this, and we're just going to draw together. I'm going to pick out different topics and just have fun. So these jam sessions, or excuse me, the sketching after hours, just for time for us to hang out, ask any questions in the chat. We're just here to hang out and just sort of have some fun. So let's see who is on the chat real quick. I'm just going to quickly look. Andreas, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for joining. Gabby's here. Gabby says hello and good evening. Andrea said I'm here. Can't believe how late you can stay up. This is from Andres. Can't believe how late you stay up. I'm an early nighter in the West, so catch a bit of live and replay the rest. Sounds good. Hey, listen, I'm all in. I love playing Texas Hold'em and poker. I got a chance to go to Vegas on business last month. I don't want to leave any money on the table. So when I'm committed to doing something, and that's what we're sort of keying off with. Steven Silver was. I'm all in, man. I'm all my poker chips, just like James Bond. I'm gonna put all those poker chips in the middle of that table, and I'm gonna roll. I don't. When it comes to personal stuff, I make the time to do it. I schedule the time. Yeah, I'm biting into a little bit of my sleep time, Andreas. But you know what? I love what I do, and it doesn't seem. I put in the reps every day. I'm always teaching and training myself new things and new software to other things. One of the things I want to get into, and I don't know if this would be useful for you guys, I want to get into Blender. I haven't gotten into Blender, so I wanted to try doing a lot of my setups and my animatics using Blender, using a 3D program. That's something I'm going to start focusing on. A few of you reached out over to me to say, hey, listen, I'd like to learn some of that, or hey, Paulie, I'd like to give you a hand with that, learning that, so you can ramp up in what you're doing there too. So there's always new pieces of software out there. But as when it comes to tonight, nothing beats having a writing or a drawing implement and tool with you, whether it be a pen, a pencil, whatever. You don't need a fancy system here. Just get in and draw, and use those sketchbooks, get this stuff going on, and utilize, put in that like I said, pencil mileage. It'll pay off for you. You'll be really happy that you do that. So I hope everybody's having a great night. Andres, Gabby, thanks for joining in. I know Ronnie got back to me via Instagram, sent me a quick DM. And if you're catching this on the replay, thanks for watching. And let's get into this. Okay, so here I had a couple of drawings over here. Let me get my Photoshop crack-a-lack in here. Okay, we'll turn these off real quick. Boom, everybody's off. Okay, let's get a new layer in here. So when we're talking about storyboarding and just drawing in general, I try to keep things really super simple. You know, if I'm doing, you know, um, some thumbnails, I'm not doing anything super complicated. And let me change my brush here real quick. Find my favorite brush I'm going to use tonight. Where are you, favorite brush? That's you earlier. Let me find it real quick. There we go. Boom. Drop it down to the top. Okay, so when we're boarding, you know, we have a picture frame that we're drawing in, and we want to be able to draw fairly quickly these boards. And everybody has a different process in terms of how they draw their boards and get it going. But as we're looking at this, I just want to board real quick in terms of what I'm doing. And you don't have a lot of time. I think I mentioned before, big fan of Robert Valley's work. I started watching his work when he was working with Peter Chung on the Aeon Flux series that came out in the 90s on Liquid Television on MTV. And he drew no bigger than I think a quarter. He's a mechanical pencil, and just really conserved his lines. He only put down the lines. He has a really unique style. I love his style. He's done so many things over the years, and just made his own film, and got nominated for an Oscar for his work. It's just absolutely phenomenal of what he's done, and I've always been a big fan of his style. I know he got in and worked on the Riddick animated sort of feature animated stuff. He worked on Tron for Disney. You know, he's done a lot of character designs. Just absolutely great work. I've always been a big fan. I guess another one would be Jamie Hewitt. Did all the Gorillas storyboards for Gorillas, and did all the storyboard work for their music videos for the Gorillas. So very cool stuff, and you can see a lot of that on YouTube. And just search up either Robert Valley or Jamie Hewitt's work. Just absolutely gorgeous stuff. But as we get the frames down, we just want to keep it really simple in terms of what we're doing. And you don't have a lot of space here. We want to keep it, rolling pretty quick. So when you're thinking about these drawings, you don't have a lot of space, and you're sort of thinking, real quick in terms of what you're doing, and you have to be able to draw fairly quick in terms of, there's that shot. Let's just say we have a establishing shot. We're just thumbnailing right now, and we have this kingdom or mountains, or kingdom in the mountains, or whatever type of thing. We're thinking really quick, and you can sort of see how quickly we're drawing here. Or I'm having a little bit of body language here with this character here, and so I've come up with all different types of maybe it's a western here. He's got his gun holster. The good, the bad, the ugly. Maybe he's got a double holster there. He's got his cowboy hat. Got Clint Eastwood here. He's got the poncho there. You know, we're thinking really quick when we're boarding. And I want to get, the hardest thing is looking at that blank page. You know, when you're looking at your blank sketchbook, you're looking at that blank page. I just try to, when I'm reading through a script and those type of things, or I'm coming up with my own project or my own book, I just want to get the images down. I don't. I have this sort of shorthand, as you see, as I'm drawing here, just my own shorthand of how I'm drawing. It's just really quick. Maybe I have a, you know, a face in there, and I'm just trying to draw, you know, the female's face here. Maybe she's there. I have my own little cheats in terms of what I'm doing here, and it's, you know, I'm thinking of those shots, you know, in terms of what I'm doing, and whatever it might be. Maybe this person's jumping, and whatever it might be, you know, whatever. Maybe it's a, you know, what else? What other shot I have? Maybe it's a group shot, and it's just a bunch of people. It's a crowd scene. Something comes down into the middle, and it's the Terminator. You know, it's that type of scenario, and then maybe, you know, and this is how quick my boards look when I'm just trying to get that information down. You know, I think this is the hardest part in a lot of the thinking, and then maybe I'll just go in there, and then I'll play with tones, and just quickly, you know, whether it be the silhouette of the character in the city type of thing, or it might be, maybe it's a knockout, maybe it's just all around. We're just looking at, I always think in tones. I don't spend a lot of time in color. I love color and doing those things, but you know, here's another one. I'll just come up with the example of what I'm doing, and I'll just add those boards in there. And I use tone to do that. And I'm just trying to lay down as fast as I can in terms of what I'm doing. I'm not being precious. I'm not being anything. I just want to draw. I want to get those boards down, you know, in terms of what I'm doing. And, you know, as we're talking and you're looking and watching, you know, this didn't take very long to do. You know, we're over here just shooting. Here we have 6 panels. That was done in no time at all. So those are the cheats, and those are the type of things that I do when I'm storyboarding. I could sit there and go on for a while, because everybody always is asking, well, how long does it take you to do per shot, you know? And how long does it take? It depends, you know. It depends on, is this just are these just thumbnails? Are these just roughs? Are these final, you know, are they roughs with value, you know, to get to the are they full color? You know, it's going to take a little bit longer every step as you're going through. And I want to be able to be, you always need to be cognizant of what you're drawing, because, you know, you never know. You might be doing these boards, and you're working with the director, and the director's like, hey, Polly, love what you did here. It looks great. But this sequence right here, we don't want that. And, you know, how about how about over here, I want you to reframe this this character over here. So instead of what you got going on, I don't want that shot. I want it to be a little bit closer. I want you to have that character up here, his eyes, you know, I want him up here as he's looking. Let me do this over so you can see what we're doing here. I want this character to be different, and I can't be in love with what I'm doing, you know. And here's the Clint Eastwood's. He's got the cigar. You know what I mean? Maybe he wanted a different shot or she wanted a different shot, and you're working with them. So you got to be flexible. You got to be able to work quickly in terms of what you're doing. If this is your own project, that'd be a different story. But when you're working pretty quick. And because I want to be able to crank these boards out. And quickly, then I can go do a little bit of research and maybe pull some research materials together on, okay, say I'm doing a Western, and I'm going to pull, pictures of Old West, I'm in the Dakotas, or, I'm up in the Montana, I'm doing, maybe I'm in Gold Rush country in San Francisco outside in the mountains, and you got miners, and I need to know what miners look like. What is the time period? What is a tent? What does a gold town look like? Who's there? What are the different people? I'll go do all the research on that. So then when I go to my next iteration of those boards, once I get my thumbnails sort of approved, I can go and pitch those boards again with a little bit more sharpness. Now I'm on point. I'm on character. I'm on whatever it might be. If you're working in animation, you want to make sure you're on model. So if you're doing storyboards for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they're asking for they need to look like Michelangelo, Donatello, and all the different turtles or Splinter or whatever, you got to be on model. You can't take your own impression of these things. So you want to keep it going and have some fun with that. But this is a little cheat that I usually do to keep stuff going, keep myself energized, keep myself flowing. And like we said, it just took a few minutes, and here we have not necessarily a sequence, but we put together a bunch of panels together real quick. So let me grab this all. Any questions out there? Throw it in the chat. Love to hear if anybody's got anything. Gabby, Andreas, anybody out there, or whoever else is watching out there. If you got any, what do you think? How do you storyboard? It'd be an interesting thing. What is your process? Love to hear it. Let me put these together here. So when I'm looking at this, I'm sort of like, this is the down and out, quick and dirty, get this stuff done. And I can sit there and play around with these panels very quickly and move them around. If I don't like this one here, I can move it over there. I think when I'm drawing, I'm thinking of that animatic. I'm thinking of that sequence. What are the cuts between? Is there a transition? Is there a fade? Where's that next shot coming from? So that's how I have fun with it. But let's get in and do some basic drawing and sort of. So Paul, how do you come up with this language? In terms of what you're doing here. So let's get some blacks back in here. Boom. Give myself, and I think I've talked about it before, and we'll go over it again. Everything is shape language. I'm thinking in shapes all the time. We think about a circle, a square. We think about triangles. Okay, we think about the shape language, and I sort of think about that a lot. Um, when you think of a circle, it's pleasing. I think a circle is happy. It, it's it could be delicate. It could be a bunch of different things. A square is strong. It could be can box you in. It could be, and what I mean by that, it also can frame. Okay, and what I mean by that is like, let's just say I have a character here. And the character is sitting here, and he's pondering. He might be trapped in the box. Um, circles are, you got your typical happy face. You know what I mean? I see it as more of a happy. Triangles are sharp. Dangerous. You sit there and go, if you're looking at a sharp, character in there. Lots of angles. Maybe he's a reptilian bad guy. Whatever it might be, monster or something. It's sharp and dangerous. In the chat, Andrea says, I've just been doing character design, so adding environment and story with you is great. Trying to find a square brush in Procreate that simulates your tone work. Okay, cool. Yeah, I haven't used Procreate before yet. And eventually, I use everything. I have I guess the 13-inch HD Cintiq, but I'm sort of bound to the computer, and I also have my big screen Cintiq. And as I go in and I start doing videos, I might move over to the big. I watch a lot of that Ross draws, and I like how Ross has that big screen when he's drawing, doing his drawings and doing his videos and stuff. So I might transition between the two different there, but I'd love to get one of these iPads and use Procreate and get it and work that mobile style. I know a lot of pro friends out there that they all use their iPads and they use Procreate for a lot of their work and stuff. So cool. Maybe we'll do some environmental stuff a little bit tonight. We'll sketch a little bit around that too, Andreas, to help you out. Hopefully you can merge. That's great that you're learning the character design of everything and you're merging the storytelling. I think when it comes to character design, that's a true artisan way of be able to create these characters. Sean Galloway, I've always been a fan. I got to run into him at one of the back in the day at one of the WonderCons when he first got started. He's got such a wonderful style, and I know he created all the character designs for the one of the versions of the Spider-Man Spectacular. I don't know if it's Spectacular Spider-Man or one of the. Check out his Sean Galloway. Excellent sort of. He has a very Super Friends type of look and more of a youth. Very stylized work, but great guy there. But just different styles there. Gabby, I tend to do quick thumbnails when I come up with a story. Then I use those thumbnails as a guide for my boards. Hope that makes sense. I'm a bit new to this, but I want to keep practicing. Yeah, definitely. You got to keep practicing. And here's another little quick hack for you, Gabby. Go watch your favorite movies. And it's not just watch the whole movie. Find that scene or that sequence that totally blows your mind. It makes you feel something. Maybe, whether it be a comedy or make you cry in a drama or make you fall in love in a romance comedy or action packed, and it just makes you feel something, and then go and sort of demystify through your boarding. It doesn't need to be fancy. I know there's quite a few board artists out there, and they'll just there was one I forgot the gentleman's name. I don't know if it was Matt or who it was. He storyboarded the whole Terminator 2 movie and just did it on his own time. Nothing. He was just practicing, and he storyboarded the actual whole film. That worked for him. That helped him hone in his storytelling. His storytelling and drawing ability, working off of James Cameron's film on T2. So find those movies that you enjoy, that you personally enjoy, and start boarding off of those. This isn't work that you would use for your portfolio, but you're starting to learn that the film language. You'll be sitting there going, oh, that's a great shot that I want to use for something that I'm being called out to do. We have the video, so please do check out my other live streams, and that's the Mastering of the Basics series. I have a playlist that you can go and click on to check out to see about shots, camera movement, angles, and each week I'm going to be adding to that series to give you more in-depth knowledge. But please draw those films. I used to do it in the past. I've done it for all different types of things. Whether if I was I go watch if I remember when I was directing a few music videos, country music videos, and hadn't done it before, and a client called me up off the bench and said, "Hey, listen, I'd like you to do a music video for me." And I was like, "Wow, okay, cool." And I'd like you to storyboard it and direct it and film it and the whole 9 yards, edit it and everything. And boy, that was a huge learning experience, right in the driver's seat with everything all at one time. So I went off and I watched a bunch of country music videos and watch some of the famous ones and then some of the not so famous ones, and then I'd start storyboarding like those shots. And so when I sat down with the lyricists and the writers, the song and the musicians, I just sat down and I pitched them all the boards and said, okay, this is what we're going to do. These are the shots we're going to pick up. Got all the I went out and took some photos of location shots and everything, and ended up getting the deal and doing the music video. So that was really fun to do, and it was a great project for me. And you're using all these different tools, So again, go watch those films that you love, and there's so many fantastic, some people they love the language, the visual language that Wes Anderson does, I just know there's so many good films. That he's created. Other people love Christopher Nolan, and others are old school. They want to see more Martin Scorsese or Francis Ford Coppola, those type of films. So it's like there's all different genres out there, but take the time, and learn that film language. And by you just sitting there and drawing off these shots, you're gonna learn a lot. So Gabby, go for it. Go do that. Yeah, Sean. So Gabby likes Sean Galloway. Yeah, no, Galloway is great. Sean's a fantastic artist. I remember running into him. I don't know him personally, but just I'm a big fan of his work. So, if you get a chance to check out his stuff, please do. Thanks for the advice, Mr. Paul. And I always try to analyze everything. I watch XD. I really like figuring out the camera movements and angles, the composition. Listen, nothing's original, you this is what you as an artist, and why you're putting in all this sketch time, all this learning for you, is because when you get called up, you want to be able to provide value. When I first started getting into wanting to do film big time, back in the day when I was in school, I was taking, film history courses and things like that, all the way back from the conception of film, to some of the directors that I enjoyed, whether it be for a Western or for horror or for suspense like Hitchcock or whatever, there's the types of things you got to have that knowledge, and that's a quick way to get yourself up to speed. And if you want to go into feature animation, watch feature animated cartoons. You want to get into a show where there's 24 episodes of or something like The Simpsons or SpongeBob SquarePants or Adventure Time or whatever it might be. Go watch those shows. See, go demystify how they made it. Slow it down. Watch it frame by frame. There's so many different things that you could learn. I know I'm talking a lot about live action, but this goes for anything. And I was just mentioned about music videos. That's how I composed a lot of my shots and said, oh, that's a cool video. I'll remember that shot, and I'll just storyboard out that shot and put it into my music, videos. So good stuff. I hope you guys you're all getting stuff out of it and learning. So awesome. And great chat, everybody. I love it. Thanks for the chat. Really good. Okay, so let's go and let's draw a little bit. I'm going to show you sort of my So with that basic said, let's go into those little cheats in terms of, let's focus on like that right now, drawing characters, right? You don't need to be, when you're doing your boards, it all depends. I think at the end of the day, you want to be a great storyteller. You want to tell a compelling story. You want to evoke some sort of emotion. You want to share. You're sharing visual knowledge. Every shot counts, and every shot should be a storytelling tool. And we've talked about this before, that not just in storyboarding, but we've always talked about, before photography, there was painting. And you would have your painting, and you'd have your character, whether it be a female or whatever, or male character. And if it was a portrait, it would be on a vertical or portrait style in terms of what you did. Okay, so all if it was a portrait of a person, it was made that way. If it was a landscape painting and those type of things, whether it be whatever it might be, the castle, the house, the boat, whatever it might be, it would be horizontal, on a horizontal plane. You'd have your values or whatever like that. Okay, and that's how we did paintings. And we had the invent of photography, and that changed things up for us. But when you're drawing, if you know how to draw a simple stick figure, that'll be great. And you see a lot of, if you go research on YouTube, storyboards, and maybe your storyboards or something like this, and you have two people talking to each other, blah 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 blah, talk, and these people are talking to each other. Okay, and that's my storyboard. There's my 2-up shot. Boom, cut it off thing. That's my storyboard, and that's the simplest form of drawing a frame. As you get a little bit more complicated, and you add a little bit of dimension and everything to it, you can still have your character here. Add a few more appendages on that character. And if this is all it is, that's simple too. And anybody can draw this as you're getting going and getting started. Okay, and you have that type of scenario. And as we get going on our drawing, and you want to get more complicated, then you could add some real dimension where you're sitting there going, okay, I got my head, I have my upper torso, I have my pelvic girdle here, I have more of a skeleton sort of setup here as you're drawing your boards. You get the sort of the idea here of what we're talking about. We have the drawings like that. Okay, let's grab this one, shrink him down. we're getting more complicated there. Another quick, simple way, besides that type of character here. Oops. I always go back to the Disney style of, if you're learning, I used to be an animator, and I used to animate a lot. And they always talked about the sack of flour. You know, the sack of flour would be here. You could create emotion with just a sack of flour, you know, in terms of what you're doing. The same thing goes for a storyboard. If you're just creating a character here, say we have the head, you know, the arms are there, you just create a character like that. There's not much to it. And if you're quickly thumbnailing, you know, we're not asking for a little detail, we're not asking for a lot of detail. And if you go and you add the detail on there, you know, you can add the detail from there if you want to, in terms of what you're doing. But it doesn't take much, just some simple shapes to knock out your boards, you know. The other thing that I do too, we go back to that shape structure, circles, squares, those type of things. Is like if I'm going to draw a head, you have different ways, you know. You either have, if I'm going to draw a female, and I'm looking at front on, okay, I'm looking at the back of the head, or I'm looking at that side profile. Let's see if I always think of like a face shield. In terms of what we're doing, and we have these different images here. I'm getting them all lined up a little bit. It's just sort of simple, and we're quickly putting these so quickly together. It's not taking a lot. Let's get them sort of same size a little bit. Let's grab this guy here. Okay, so if we're doing, you know, you can even do a 3/4 too, so we could, let me throw a 3/4 in there. So we're just not spending a whole lot of time here, and there's your 3/4 in terms of what we're doing, okay? And so you have these shapes here that you can work with, and then you can also, you know, I believe it was the last live stream we were doing, you could simply just go use a thicker brush too, and we were talking about some cheats or some hacks to draw quicker. It's just do the same thing, and you could just get that shape in there. Not even worry about it. You just got that shape in there. Or if I'm doing the 3/4, I have that shape knowledge in there, where I got the back of the head. Ears are popping out. Or I'm looking at the same thing over here. I'm looking at that. You can have that shape knowledge like that. So if I was grabbing this stuff, let's get this separated out real quick. I want to show you. Let's drop these down 50%. So we got the idea of what we're doing here. Then you can just draw on top of it. You know, you got your basic language down. We've done it in a couple minutes here. Because we're not here storyboarding when we're thumbnailing or we're roughing out. Unless you're working on a series where you need to be on model, you're just trying to give enough information to the viewer, meaning your director or your client that you're working with, just enough to get in there and show them what you're doing, get those approved, and then you can go on and do final drawings. We haven't spent a lot of time sitting here. I'm not trying to be Picasso. I'm trying to, in a sense, working in icons in a certain way. You know, I'm working in silhouette. You know, here on the bottom, I'm working in silhouette over here, and then up on top, I'm just working here with line in terms of what I'm doing. Then you can come back in and have those basic things. You know, maybe one way, if you're trying to cut things down real quick, you can come in there and just go. Let's just say I'm drawing that female head. We know that the female head's like this. So maybe sometimes you'll see me when I'm doing my artwork. I'll go like this. And then add that character's hair in there. There's a female character, you know. Boom. I love my big earrings. But that's it. That's it of the drawing, you know. Other drawings that might be a little bit more complicated, but this is a mouth and two eyes. There's no nose. I sort of got the idea of what I'm doing. You know, I could even come back in there and just add some heavy black in there just to show the hair real quick. In terms of what I'm doing, you have a drawing. It took nothing at all. Okay. Or let's go into the next drawing. Maybe I add a little bit more detail, a little bit more polish, but keep it simple too. Where I might still add the nose in there. Maybe I'll add the nose. There's this type of drawing, you know. Maybe it's the back of the head. She has a ponytail. She's right there. It's not taking very much to draw these boards. I'm not doing it all digitally. We're here. And then, you know, all we want to see is a silhouette. Over here. On this one. Big earrings again. In terms of what we're doing over here. Not a lot, you know, I mean, in terms of what you're doing. We could do the same thing here with these silhouette styles. In terms of what we're doing here. And it's like all I'm boarding. Maybe go like this. Keep it sort of simple as we're chilling out. Vucky ABX. Hi, how you doing? Thanks for joining the live stream. Appreciate it. What we're doing is talking about just sort of the cheats here and sort of drawing, and we're using silhouette in terms of what we're doing here. Maybe this character has a hair top over here. But as you see, we're just simply adding a few lines here. I can come back in and add detail or whatever it might be. As we're drawing here, there's not a lot going on, and we're using a lot of simple shapes, and I try to use a lot of shape language. I got all my little cheats that I do to keep it simple for myself, because I want to be able to tell the story. I can always go back in and complicate things and add a lot of detail and stuff like that later. But here we're just drawing some basic characters in terms of what we're trying to do. We have the back of the head, and the same thing goes over here. Let's try that side profile again. I hope this is helping and showing you guys some cheats. So when you're bored, and you know, maybe a thicker board here is just the hair here. Here's the back of the head. There's the back of the head, and maybe you still got the big earrings over here. In terms of what we're doing. And then over here we have the yeah, I'm curious to see what everybody's drawings are going to look like. Just sitting here practicing the female head. We're just over here drawing tonight. This is part of our sketching after hours and hanging out. It's sort of my time to chill and relax and draw, and hopefully you guys are learning a lot over here. Appreciate everybody joining on the live stream. If you guys are getting some great value out of this live stream, it would mean the world to me if you could subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, please share this content out with somebody else out there that might find the art of visual storytelling and storyboarding, you know, in these lessons and that we're doing. That would be actually helpful to them. So please, you know, subscribe and don't forget to share and watch more of the videos. I have what do we have? I think it's over 14 live streams. I think I almost have 20 hours that I've already done live streams on that you can go back, you know, and you don't necessarily need to watch everything. You can go and skip through the different live streams to find out the parts that would give you some great value. So please do that. Andreas just wrote down, good stuff, Polly. Awesome. Let me take a drink here because I try to talk as much as I can to keep it interesting too. And my coffee's already gotten cold, but I got my happy face coffee mug. I'm happy. It's going good, and I'm glad you're having a great Thursday night. Okay. Awesomeness. Okay, let's try this this sort of side shot here real quick, and maybe we'll do a few of men. Okay, so I'm over here. And this is where that shape knowledge, I'm not using any reference, I'm just sort of going off of other things I've done. Then we can come in there and get that thicker hair going there. You got the idea. And then we're just sketching around here. But anyway, there's some female characters. We, you know, you sit there and you look at all the drawings we just did. Let's zoom up. Let's have some fun here. Let's, you know, you're sitting there and you turn it all off. Whoop. Okay, so we started with that. Okay. So you're thinking about shape knowledge and those shapes, and we just go in there and you add some just basic stuff in there. You know, it's like we created all these characters, we created all these different styles from simple to more complicated in just a matter of minutes. So cool stuff over here, you know what I mean? But you're starting off with those basic shapes. We start on the top level. We're looking at, you know, on the top level here. Let's just call this the A level. You know, this set of drawings there are just all simple. This is all line in terms of what we're doing. On the B level here, and we're using shape on this one here. You know, it's like those different drawing exercises. I don't know if you've ever seen any of those drawing exercises. I don't know if any of you, I remember doing this back in high school, where let's just say you just get a brush here, they give you some sort of crazy shape or something. Let's try one more time so it all stays the same color. Let's just say it's just a crazy shape like that. Okay, and they say, okay, we want you to draw something with this shape, and you're like, okay, cool. And you know, I sit there and I look at it and I go, well, what can I create out of that shape? And we're just using shape language here. And I'm sitting there looking at this shape and going, well, what the heck am I, what do I see in this? And then I sit there and I just start playing with it, right? And what do I see? You know, what comes out of this? And this is where we play. And this is a fun little exercise to do too. So if you don't know what to draw, or you come into a sense of what am I drawing here? you know, you can have some fun. With things like this. You could have some fun with this thing now. You know, it's funny is I actually see a creature that we're just having fun here, riffing on this shape language here. Let's I saw something, just that simple shape we just painted. And I just saw a creature that I'm familiar with pop right out of it. Okay, let's get this going here. Get this here. And that, let me finish it up real quick. So we have this shape right here, boom. So if you're ever stuck, I thought they looked like that. Maybe their ears were bigger. But the first thing that popped in my head was gremlins. Where you feed them after midnight. You don't feed them after midnight. There was the one bad guy, Spike or whatever. Here we go. We're playing with movie monsters now. Get a thick brush on there. You know, and this is a simple drawing, and we're just sort of, oops, oh no. Let's try that again. Let me put that on a different layer. I'm just having fun here. And if you ever get stuck and you're like, I don't know what to draw something you love drawing. I don't think I've ever drawn these guys in a really long time. This is that one character, I guess his name was Spike. Hey Barat, how you doing? Thanks for joining the live stream. I'm just sort of riffing on this off this gremlin real quick. I'll recap real quick what we were talking about here. Hope I do Gremlins proud here. If you haven't seen that classic movie with the Mogwai. Was it Gizmo was the little furry guy or whatever? It like pops on him or something. But anyway, that's enough. But the point was what we were trying to say is with this particular image is that we started this image off simply with that shape. Drew some lines over it, or drew some lines over it. Boom, we had that shape, and boom, we have our gremlin. That's pretty cool. So there's all different drawing techniques of what you want to do and do that. So let's draw a couple male. Andrea says they're multiplying. Yeah, it's after midnight over here, so I think I fed my gremlin over here having fun with this. Cool. Let me see. What do we have in the chat? Okay, so Bharat, thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you joining in. I'd love to see your artwork. Make sure you tag me on Instagram, on my Instagram feed. I'd love to see your work if you're drawing with us tonight. Andres, same thing with you. If you got some artwork that you've been creating based on these live sessions, I'd really love the opportunity to get a chance to see your guys' work. So thanks again for joining us on the live stream. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to hang out and spend some time with Polly over here on our first inaugural our sketching after hours live stream. This is the first one. If you guys like this type of series where we're just drawing and chilling out as you're drawing along, I hope I'm inspiring you to crack open those sketchbooks, get those sketchbooks going. Get those drawings down in your sketchbook. I don't care what you use, a ballpoint pen, a Sharpie, whatever you got, do those sketches. And if this helps to inspire you to start drawing a little bit more, or you're having a difficult day at work or wherever, or at school, whatever you're doing, and, I just need to get away and I need to hang out with Polly a little bit, get jazzed back up because I have an artist block and I need to get out of my funk and I want to keep drawing. Come hang out with me, or watch these videos on the replay, and always happy to help you out. Always stay inspired. Remember the journey is, you got to put the pencil mileage in. You got to practice these things. Then you get faster and faster and faster, and then we see something like this where you're using these different skills, where you're just grabbing a simple shape, boom, and we made a gremlin out of a simple shape. We were talking earlier. I know I was mentioning it to Gabby and the rest of the folks here. Make sure you're use your films that you love watching. Storyboard off those films. Just sit there and do quick line drawings just based on the sketches of those films. Maybe we'll do that in one of these live sessions. We'll practice that, or maybe I'll start drawing a movie or something that I'm watching on the side here, and you guys guess what movie that is. Or maybe we'll grab a couple shots or a scene. Let me write that down. That's a good idea. I'll write that down too. Can you guess that movie? That'd be sort of a fun little game as we're playing. So if this is giving you some great value, folks, please drop in the chat. Just say, hey, Polly, I'm learning. I'm having a good time. And love to see that feedback on there. And also, too, if you're catching this in the replay, drop me a note in the comments. I love hearing it. Or get back to me on Instagram. I'd really like that a lot. Okay. So, again, we were talking about shape. We had drawn those ladies earlier. So we have a lot of artwork we've been producing tonight together. So let me grab all these images, put them together a little bit. Okay. Whoop. Grab a new layer on here. It's ready to go. Cool. So let's do the same type of thing. I'm not going to go as much as in detail with the female head there. we're practicing. Let's draw a few men's heads. Okay, I'm just gonna freehand this thing and let's just draw. Have fun drawing. Okay. Okay. So if I'm thinking about a man's head, I'm just sort of thinking out loud here. Just sort of drawing. Thicker eyebrows, we'll get those in there. More squared off jaw in terms of what we're doing here. In terms of what I'm doing. Thicker on the neck. See what type of hair we're going to give him. Okay, and then maybe we'll add some dark values on him too. So I'm just riffing off this male character here. In terms of what we're doing here. Bharat, thank you for all the live streams. I really improved in storyboarding and drawing. Cool, I'm glad it's really helping you out, Bharat. That's awesome. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll just come in there with the eraser pen. He's going to have some thicker eyebrows on him. We could do 2. Add a little bit of detail on him too. So these are simple characters that we're creating in terms of the drawing and stuff like that. Let's get into another thing I was thinking about too. Okay, so we're talking about full body poses too for your drawings. And remember, you don't need anything complicated how I'm doing, but I'm just sort of sharing with you sort of my tips and tricks of what I'm doing. You know, we were talking about You don't need much. You can just have your stick figure. Hello, how you doing? Guy's waving his hand. Hey, how you doing? Okay, but then if I'm drawing a figure or something like that, maybe I'll come in there. You'll see how I draw this when I'm doing my what do you call it? My Sharpie type of artwork and stuff, and in terms of what I'm doing there, I'm drawing like a female figure. And I sort of, let me, I'm thinking of shapes all the time. So let me show you sort of my cheat on shapes of when I'm drawing a female figure. Thicken this up a little bit. And so it's when I'm making my marks, it's one thing, but it's like, okay, I have my head, okay? And what I'll do is I'll have my shoulder blades here. Sometimes I'll come like this and make like a cross your heart, hope to die type of scenario here. Let me zoom this out a little bit. Then I'll draw a circle in there. And then I'll have sort of that triangle up in here like this. And what I'm looking at is I'm looking at drawing the female's chest here. You know, maybe her arms are here. Say this is where her legs are. But I'm looking at that hourglass figure. And I'll come in there. You can see how my lines will come in there. Oops. Boy, this pen doesn't like me. I can't delete. What's going on here? Oh, I see. Let's try that one more time. You can sort of see the basic shapes. That I'm using just to draw. So this is stuff I'll practice with and just practice this and practice it and practice it. So again, you know, I'm just using those simple shapes to knock out that figure. In terms of what we're doing here. Then I can come in. A little bit sharper. You can sort of see the basic shapes coming in. Sort of got the idea of what we're doing here. There's a simple figure. Just using our shape knowledge here. You got the idea from there. Okay, I'll take a sip here. I hope everybody's having a good time and you're learning and you're drawing and you're having some fun. Don't forget to subscribe and watch more of these live stream videos. And I'm looking forward. I'm so thankful. We broke, I think we broke 300 subscribers a few days ago, and I'm looking forward to seeing where we can get to 500, because at that point in time I can start sending different images and things like that if you're subscribed to the channel, and we can connect more when we're doing that. So I appreciate everybody subscribing. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. Lets me know you enjoy what you're watching, and it's a great affirmation to me, knowing that this is this time I'm putting into it is really helping you guys out. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it, and appreciate your time hanging out with me. Okay, I'm gonna go back. I was looking in the chat real quick. Oh yeah, it was Andreas. I'm gonna do something a little different here. We're gonna stop drawing characters here, and let's look at environments. Let's play a little bit with some environmental stuff here. Andreas was like, "Hey, Paul, I'd like to work on some environmental type of things," and so let's do that. Let's add new layering here, and so you have different aspects of if I know in comics, when you're drawing an environment, you'll have the environment. It's usually on your splash page, or one panel will be super detailed in comic books. You'll see the background. I know one of the current artists on the Moon Knight comic books and stuff like that. What they'll do is that artist they did the background. They put a lot of detail, so it sets you up, established the shot. It was like the master shot, as we would say in filmmaking. And then what they do is it went into an action sequence of Moon Knight fighting and all this stuff, and as Moon Knight's going through, like, I guess the levels of the bosses and in the fight sequence, and what the artists would do is they dropped out the background and only showed the action, and that's in comic books, and that's visual storytelling. It's a whole different way of visual storytelling than we do in filmmaking. In comic books, you have panel to panel to panel, and in between those panels are how you lay out the panels. You'll get breaks, and that's where the gutter is, and those gutters between those panels will set up the subtext of what the next shot could be, and gives the reader's eye a second to imagine. And if you saw that first shot with the establishing shot, and then you're going into a blank panel with just the action of the character, pop pop pop, going through the sequence, your mind is remembering where that character was. We can do that a little bit in storyboarding too. So, but also with these digital tools, I can just copy and paste the background. But if I'm focused on the sequence, or maybe there's a high action packed, I know a lot of live action storyboard artists, there's a lot of them that are fantastic action artists, and you see, I think on my flight back from Vegas, I watched that Shang-Chi movie, and they just really great action sequences, and you need really fantastic storyboard artists to create these visual sequences. And you see a lot of live action board artists that are super focused on action. They're working with the FX crew to figure out all the special effects, as well as what's needed, and then what's budgeted for those particular sequences, whether it be Avengers Endgame or Black Panther or whatever it is. There's some absolutely phenomenal live action board artists out there that their specialty is producing those big action scenes, and they're working along with the stunt teams, and they're working with the director and their FX crew and all those good folks to come up with some great sequences. Okay, let me see. Cool. Just look in the chat real quick just to make sure we're good. So I'm going to quickly let's think about backgrounds, and that was our topic. So when I'm doing a background, I like to work within that bounding box. Okay, it sort of sets me up, and what we could do another live stream, and with these sketching after hour live streams, we can go over different topics, or I might put it into the mastering the basics topics as well, with those particular series of live streams where we're gonna talk about and we're gonna teach perspective 1.2.3 point perspective in terms of what we're doing. But let's get that frame in here. And let's talk about backgrounds. Okay, so I got a background here. And you know, you got to know your perspective. I did this sheet last week, or last Thursday, where I was using a ruler and I put it on my Cintiq here, and then I just sort of draw from there on it. And I had fun. I was drawing this. Let me put this in here like this. Draw my vertical here. And then I sort of went off into the tangent here. I just go in there. Okay, we got that in there. Maybe get a little bit more. In terms of what we're doing here. I'll throw those lines down. We're just working on that background here. In terms of what we're doing, so I just sort of lay out with some artwork there, drawing backgrounds, and I'm just gonna sort of have fun with this. So I'm gonna freehand the rest of it for now, and I think I was doing a castle last time, and I'm just sort of thinking there was some overall archways. Oops, whoa, that's gross. This brush goes funky on me. We're just sitting here drawing a background real quick. When I'm drawing everything, I can come back later and fix the perspective and all that stuff. But I'm just sort of having fun. I'm designing a little bit in terms of what I'm doing here. Got some sort of plans of some sort there. Maybe some sort of chandelier was up here. Maybe some grand door. the fancy carpets here, some sort of grand. Some sort of thing there. We're just sort of designing here right now. Boy, this brush is acting funky. So it gives you a little idea of what we're playing with here real quick, and then we can come in there now and we can sort of have some fun here. So I'm going to grab a different brush here. Add some texture out here. And this is for Bharat as we're talking about backgrounds. So I'm going to go in there and I'm going to start looking at this background here. As we're painting it out a little bit. Get a little bigger brush here. I'm just dropping some color on here to see where we're going to go with this. Get an idea. Then what I'll do, probably a little complicated, but we're going to draw one board to set it up. Maybe there's some sort of plant here. Plant there. We're just sort of setting this up. You get the idea. our doorway. You sort of got an idea of where we're going with this, Barat. And then you can have some fun if you want to do some lighting. And I think I taught you guys this trick on our last stream, where I'll go in there grab my highlight tool, fill it with black, and then it creates a darker shot for you like that. Or if you don't want to do it like that, we can create a gradient. See how that would look. Yeah, I won't fund that. We'll do it like that, okay? And then what we can do is we can come in there, change our brush, like this, and just add some lighting sources in here like this. That could be part of the chandelier or whatever. Keep this dark, like that would make a moody light here. Let's see which one. And a blur, and I can come back in there, change my brush back. Add the lighting or whatever, some sort of bulbs. Oops. You get the idea of what we're doing. You have some fun with that on your backgrounds. Okay. I'm gonna leave it open. Any questions or anything like that? I hope you guys have had a good time with our our jam session tonight. I hope you're getting a lot of great work out of this. So tonight we focused on just some basic storyboarding, basic stuff in terms of basic storytelling and of how to draw. You know, tonight was our first inaugural live stream on the Sketching After Hours. So I hope you've been sketching along with me tonight, and hoping you've been having some fun with it. I've put together, we talked about just putting in that pencil mileage. Tonight's session is just to hang out and draw and have some fun. We talked about the simplicity of your drawings, some cheats and hacks on how to draw faces and full figures. We talked about using different shapes, and sort of the cheats there to get your storyboards done. We did one quick background over here just now for Bharat. I know Bharat's been working on a bunch of different storyboards and trying to put the work together with character design. So I hope that helped you out. Let me just see if there's anything here to review back again as we go through our different images here that we did. Go through real quick. We had the man character with the female character that we talked about here. Now on top of that, I had some other ones that I had drawn earlier today, just practicing and warming up. Had a male character here, female character here. Just simple, just get that pencil mileage in. Get those drawings, kick them out, get those drawings done. I did another drawing here earlier. Just have fun with this, Get in, do that drawing, as we're practicing each and every day. Get that sketchbook filled up. Do as much as you can. We started today with one of Steven Silver's fantastic quotes, and you got to put the work in. Again, make time every day to create. If you don't, you'll seal your fate. Continue drawing each and every day. Take the time to draw, and put in that pencil mileage. I can't express that enough. It's almost 2 o'clock here in the morning, so I'm gonna call it a night and get some rest so I'm ready for work tomorrow. But I hope this live stream was fun for everybody. I hope you had a great time. I really appreciate you spending your Thursday night with me. I look forward to our next jam session. It'll be on Saturday, and if I can, I'll promote it over on Instagram. I'm trying to come up. We just did horror quite a number of horror jam sessions, and I got something special planned for you guys on Saturday night. I'm trying to tune this back a little bit because I think last Saturday I went for 4 hours, or the last night, it was Tuesday, we went for 4 hours. That's a lot of artwork in that amount of time. I have fun putting those animatics together to share with you as well. But I hope you really enjoyed yourself. Please subscribe to the channel. Please share these videos, these live streams with friends and others in the art community that can get some benefit out of it. And the other part of it is watch some more of the videos. We got 14 different live streams. We got well over 20 hours worth of content right now in just this last month, and I look forward to seeing you in the next live stream. Any last things over here? Yeah, thank you, Bharat. Bharat just gave congratulations for 300 plus subs. Thank you so much, Bharat. I'm glad you're enjoying these live streams and they're providing some great teaching and value to you. Gabby said this was really fun. Yes, congrats. Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much. It's because of you guys. I really appreciate you subscribing and taking the time to watch these videos. I look forward to this month. I'm trying to change things up to give you some more dynamic content throughout the month and some new things. Like I said, Tuesdays we'll try to focus on the nuts and bolts of filmmaking and storyboarding, calling it Mastering the Basics. On Thursdays, I'm sort of planning that we'll continue doing these. If you like these sort of sketching after hours, so you can pull out your sketchbook and draw with me type of thing. We'll continue doing those on Thursdays, and then Saturdays I love our jam sessions where we pick a film genre type and we board it, and sort of at the conclusion of that, by the next day I have a sort of an animatic sort of fun thing. Also, other things I have planned are more educational shorts coming out soon, and we'll try to do a couple videos this month to see where we can go with this. But again, Andreas, Andreas said, thank you for the background. Yeah, of course. I wish I was more detailed, but we just sort of kept it simple tonight. But anyways, everybody have a fantastic night. Thanks for joining me with me tonight, and I will see you on our next live stream, which will be on Saturday. So thanks so much for joining me. Have a great night and a great rest of your week. Take care, and I'll talk to you later.